Ladies and gentlemen, is your online faceprint the end of your online privacy? This is the question I'm posing today. We all know about fingerprints because we've all had experience with those. I recently went to America and I was rather shocked that I had to give my fingerprints to get into the country. But in many countries it's normal to have a biometric passport or to have your fingerprints on file. But what about your face print? Well, there is now facial recognition software which uses biometrics and a special application to identify an individual person in an image. They analyse your face and compare patterns to identify you. Facial recognition is very useful for security purposes, but now it has other applications as well. In terms of security, we can see that this is a very good thing for our society. When there are crime scenes or terrorist attacks, this can help us to identify the people involved much more quickly. Also, if you imagine a missing person scenario, we can find the person more quickly by scanning images at train stations or airports or other areas. However, if you are walking down the street, just a public street, minding your own business, should a company be able to identify you when you haven't given your permission for this to be done? Currently, there are no set agreements on how facial recognition software can be used. This means that we're moving into sort of a creepy territory where our faces can be recognised without our permission. One example of this is a California-based company called Face First. They have a new system which allows shopkeepers to boost their sales. This is because the system will recognise high-value customers when they walk into the shop and send an alert. This means that we could be in a world with no anonymity. You can walk into a car dealership and immediately the salesman knows your name, they know how much cash you earn, and they know how much you're likely to spend in their store. Would you really want to live in this world? What about another example? This is called Churchix. This is a company which is marketing facial recognition software for churches. You can add the faces of your congregation into the software and it tracks their attendance to see if they regularly come to church or not. Apparently, it can also find other demographic data, such as how many children are in the congregation. Many companies have marketed other products where a stranger could point their camera phone at you and they can identify you by name and age. Online technology that uses facial recognition at the moment has had to make its own policies, and the only good ones that I could find were Google and Microsoft, because with these two companies you have to explicitly opt in to use the software, but that is not standard practice. Let's look at Facebook. In Illinois, Facebook is currently being sued. This is because apparently the social network has gone against the current state laws. Facebook has created face prints. This is a digital scan to identify individuals. You've probably all seen this happen on Facebook when you upload a photo and it gives you a selection of photos of the same person and it says, "Is this X?" and you click yes or no. This is how they are learning to recognise faces. And maybe you've heard of the new app, Facebook Moments. The idea of this is somewhat like a Google profile where you've created your event on Facebook and then you take photos at the event, and of course because we all have the Facebook app on our phones, it knows where we are and what we're doing and it has access to everything, that automatically take your photos and they look through the people who said they're attending the event, they automatically tag them in the photos and share them with your friends. Of course, the good side of this is that you have the photos that people took of you and you don't have to wait months for people to eventually send them to you. But is it really a good thing that Facebook knows what you look like just when you take the photo? You don't even have to tag it. At the moment though, we don't have to worry here, because the app was forced to be changed in the EU and Canada due to the law. So you can choose who sees your photos, but who knows, maybe this will change. The main problem is that companies collect all the data they can on people because they think it might be useful, but this goes in breach of our privacy. Facial recognition is one of many remote biometric sensing technologies. There is also gait detection, iris scanning, heartbeat recognition, and many others. Some of these have medical purposes, some of these help the police, but others are completely unnecessary and just look to get our information. We need to have a deeper discussion of the social and ethical implications of who gets to use this information, when, where, and how. So, what can we do against our face prints? Well, I have a few ideas for you. Some of them may be a little bit ridiculous, but some actually work. One thing that has been created is in Japan, and this is a special pair of glasses that when someone tries to take a photo of you, they reflect the lens of the camera, so it makes half of your face white. Otherwise, you could wear something that obscures your face. I suppose men, you could suddenly decide to grow a beard or a moustache. You could create an online identity which is different from your actual identity, but this could actually cause you problems because banking and things track your online identity as well, and they'll see that there's a mismatch. Maybe you should try smiling more, because smiling actually makes facial recognition less accurate, because facial recognition is based on a sort of passport style photo where you're not smiling. So if you smile, you can put the cameras off. Otherwise, chew gum, because when you're chewing it changes the shape of your face itself. But I suppose maybe some more realistic things than smiling and chewing gum all the time, which I'm not sure how you would do at the same time, is to upload less photos, check your privacy settings, and opt out of all the facial recognition software that you can. Thank you.